Right now, most people think farming has always worked the same way. Plant seeds, harvest once, buy again next year. But for nearly 800 years, that wasn't how Europe grew food. Medieval monastery gardens operated on a completely different system. A system modern agriculture quietly buried. Monks planted crops once and harvested them for decades. One planting, 20 years of food, sometimes more. This wasn't myth. It was documented, recorded in texts like Charlemagne's Capitulaire de Villiers around 800 AD, mapped in monastery blueprints, passed down through generations. And then, in less than 50 years, it vanished. Not because the plants stopped working, but because they made farmers too independent. Today, 95% of vegetables require replanting every year. You plant, you harvest, you buy seeds again, over and over. But medieval farmers? They planted asparagus once and harvested for 25 years. They planted good King Henry beside their doors and picked greens for decades. The knowledge wasn't lost. It was buried because perennial crops don't create dependency. They create freedom. Before we uncover these forgotten crops, ask yourself, do you buy seeds every year? Or do you grow something that keeps feeding you? Let's begin. The Romans were growing asparagus as early as 200 BC. They transported it across mountains, stored it in snow, and treated it like a luxury food. When Rome fell, it nearly disappeared. But monasteries preserved it for centuries. Here's the genius. Year 1, you plant crowns deep in the soil. Year 2, you still harvest nothing because the roots are growing deep, sometimes up to 10 feet. Then in year 3, you begin harvesting every spring for the next 20 to 25 years. Same plant, same roots, no replanting. A single row could produce hundreds of pounds over its lifetime. And the flavor? Stronger, richer, more nutritious, because deep roots pull minerals modern crops can't reach. So why isn't this the standard? Because it takes 3 years before profit. Modern agriculture doesn't wait that long. This plant fed Europe for centuries, not as a specialty, as a staple. Families planted it right outside their doors, not in fields, right where they cooked, because it kept producing, year after year, and it gave 3 harvests. Early spring, thick shoots like asparagus. Late spring, leaves like spinach. Summer, buds like broccoli. 3 foods, 1 plant, no replanting. Nutritionally, more iron than spinach, more calcium, more vitamin C, and deeper roots that actually improve the soil. So why did it disappear? Because spinach is annual. You have to keep buying it. This one, you plant once, and you're done. Before sugar was common, this was sweetness, naturally sweet roots. Grown once, harvested every year. Even kings demanded it. Roman emperors, medieval rulers, entire gardens dedicated to this one crop. Here's how it worked. You plant it once. Every year, you harvest some roots and leave others. The plant regenerates. Forever. No bare soil. No replanting. Then potatoes arrived. Easier, faster, more profitable. And this plant disappeared. Imagine one plant, feeding your kitchen for decades. Leaves for seasoning, stems for food, seeds for spice, roots for medicine. One plant could flavor meals for an entire household. For 20 years or more, monasteries relied on it. Because it wasn't just food. It was medicine. And again, you plant once. That's it. Some plants last 50 years. Still producing. Still growing. They survive cold, neglect, poor conditions. They die back each winter and return stronger every spring. This is what resilience looks like. Some crops aren't seasonal. They're perennial. Plant once. Harvest for years. Then divide the plant and create new ones. Over and over. One planting can become generations of food. Some plants you can't even get rid of. They spread, regrow, survive everything. Farmers use this intentionally. Plant them in poor soil, and they still feed you forever. So what happened? The shift wasn't accidental. It was economic. When the seed industry grew, perennials became a problem because a plant that lasts 30 years only sells once. A plant that dies every year sells forever. At the same time, monasteries, the keepers of this knowledge, were dissolved, destroyed, their gardens lost, their systems forgotten. And so, we replaced a system that feeds generations with one that resets every year. These plants still exist. They still grow. They still produce. They still work. The only thing missing is awareness. Because the most radical thing you can do today is plant something. You never have to plant again.